Gopijana Balaba Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Bradajana Ranjana Yamunatira Banachadi Yamunatira Yamunatira Banachari Yamunatira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada So how do we get this going, this thing here? My password? My what? Doesn't work. Maybe that it's not long enough. No. No, I use always this. That cable doesn't work. You never tried it with a Mac? It's a standard. Anyway, what can we do? That doesn't- Okay. No one can understand the will of the Lord. Even great sages are bewildered. What can we do? So let's go to the verse then, directly. Did you use this ever? Huh? I don't know this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 7, verse number 6. And that verse is, come on. Maitreya Uvacha. Tada sarvani bhutani shrutva vidushta moditam paritushtatmam vistata sadhu satviti atabruvan. Maitreya Uvacha. Tada sarvani bhutani shrutva vidushta paritushtatma vistata sadhu sadviti atabruvan. Maitreya Uvacha. Tada sarvani bhutani shrutva vidushtamoritam paritushtatma vistata sadvitya bruvan. Sadhu savidyata bruvan. Sadhu saditva ditya bruvan. No, sadhu sadviti abruvan. And one time more. Maitreya Uvacha. Tada sarvani bhutani Shrutva midustamoditam Paristutarma vistata Sadhu sadvitya bruvan. Somebody. And ladies, Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya, the sage Maitreya, Uvacha said, Tada, at that time, Sarvani, all, Bhutani, personalities, Shrutva, after hearing, Midhutama, the best of the Benedictors, Lord Shiva, Uritam, spoken by Paristuta, being satisfied, Atma be, by heart and soul, Tata, my dear Vidura, Sadhu, Sadhu, well done, Iti, thus, Atabruvan, as we have said. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, the great sage Maitreya said, my dear Vidura, all the personalities present were very much satisfied in heart and soul upon hearing the words of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the Benedictors. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, Lord Shiva is described as Midushtama, the best of Benedictors. He is also known as Ashutosh, which indicates that he is very quickly satisfied and very quickly angered. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that less intelligent persons go to the demigods for material benedictions. In this connection, people generally go to Lord Shiva, and because he is always quickly satisfied and gives benediction to his devotees without consideration, he is called Midushtama, or the best of the Benedictors. Materialistic persons are always anxious to get material profit, but they are not serious about spiritual profit. Sometimes, of course, it so happens that Lord Shiva becomes the best benedictor in spiritual life. It is said that once a poor Brahmana worshipped Lord Shiva for benediction, and Lord Shiva advised the devotee to go to see Sanatana Goswami. The devotee went to Sanatana Goswami and informed him that Lord Shiva had advised him to seek out the best benediction from him, from Sanatana. Sanatana had a touchstone with him which he kept in the garbage. On the request of the poor Brahmana, Sanatana Goswami gave him this touchstone, and the Brahmana was very happy to have it. He could now get as much gold as he desired simply by touching the touchstone to iron. But after he left Sanatana, he thought, if a touchstone is the best benediction, why has Sanatana Goswami kept it with the garbage? He therefore returned us, Sanatana Goswami, Sir, if this is the best benediction, why do you keep it with the garbage? Sanatana Goswami informed him, actually this is not the best benediction, but we are prepared to take the best benediction for me. The Brahmana said, yes, sir. Lord Shiva has sent me for the best benediction. And the Sanatana Goswami asked him to throw the touchstone in the water nearby and then come back. The poor Brahmana did so, and when he returned, Sanatana initiated him with the Hare Krishna mantra. Thus, the benediction of Lord Shiva, the Brahmana got the association. By the benediction of Lord Shiva, the Brahmana got the association of the best devotee of Lord Krishna and was thus initiated in the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Om Agyanti Minandasya Ganandana Shlakaya Chakshuruminitam Minatasmai Sigurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitamina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Garamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So we hear that Lord Shiva is the greatest of benedictors. And so in the material world, the mentality of people is that they want to be benedicted in some way with something that increases their material comfort. And Krishna says, Bhogaishvaya prasaktanam taipalitya setanam. Samadhana vidiyate, those who are after material comfort cannot reach him. But people approach demigods. The idea to approach demigod is still good. In that sense, it is better than not to approach a demigod for material profit. Because the demigods give profits which are actually given by Krishna. So there is some sort of indirect connection with Krishna in this, but people are still called less intelligent. Those who search benedictions from the demigods are less intelligent. They are materially motivated. Some bhakta may be there, but bhakti may be there, but they're prakrita bhaktas. They have material desires. And so people go to the temple and pray in front of the deity, my dear Krishna, give me a house by the sea and a color TV, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, as a prayer. Give me something. There are two kinds of living entities, really, human beings. Those who give and those who take. The pure devotees, the transcendentalists, they're only giving. They don't take at all. In the spiritual world, the whole modus operandi, the way how people act, is just to give. And the more they give, the more they get. Whereas in the spiritual world, the more you take, the less you are able to give. Because you develop a kripa mentality. You take. And we can see that on Sankirtan, sometimes the poorest of people, they give you some money, and some rich people just pass by. What do I care? They cannot give. They're, I don't know name names, but one of the richest men in the world who used to come to the ISKCON temple regularly as a student, he had no money. He said in one speech, in Stanford University, he walked miles to go to the temple and to take some prasadam. He said, actually, it tied me over in my whole student time, the temple. When he came with dying, he died with 6 billion, not million, 6 billion, 250,000 million dollars, and couldn't get himself to give a penny to Krishna. Imagine that. It's not even a penny. That means, spiritually speaking, he was a pauper. He was a pauper. He was not spiritually wealthy. If somebody has spiritual wealth, he can give. He gives his last shirt, if necessary. But if somebody is materially not exhausted, and is rather spiritually impoverished because of that. If he's materially poor, spiritually poor, then he wants so many things, and there's no end to his desires. No end to his desires. Even the richest people want more and more and more and more. Give me more, give me more, give me more. That's the way how people work in the material world. They want more, and the more they have, ultimately they lose everything at the time of death. Whatever you have acquired at the time of death, it goes down the hill. And therefore, even in the Bible, Jesus said, do not create treasures in this world which will be stolen by thieves and, eaten by moth and destroyed by rust. Rather, create treasures in heaven where there are no thieves, and no moth and no robbers come, and no rust can destroy it. That is intelligent. That's intelligent. I remember there was one devotee, I forgot his name. He joined in our New York temple, and he got a considerable amount of money from his parents. They had died, and they opened the last will, and he earned a fortune from his parents. So he had just joined, and the devotees in our temple in Manhattan, and he told the temple president, I have a large amount of money that came to me the other day. Can I give it to Krishna? I said, yes. He said, but I have one condition. He said, I have one condition. That this money should be used to make this Rath Yatra very glorious. There should be unlimited flowers and unlimited prasadam and unlimited, everything unlimited. You know that who that was? I'll tell you later. Huh? No. It was a devotee. He's in Vrindavan now. He created these Tulsi houses, 3 Tulsi houses. You got it. So he gave this money under this condition. So Srila Prabhupada came to New York, and he saw the Rath Yatra, and he saw flowers, an ocean of flowers over the Rath carts, and the prasadam was gigantic. And Prabhupada inquired, he said, how do you have so much money that you can afford all that? And the temple president explained to him, he said, this devotee, such and such, he gave all this money inherited. And then Prabhupada, that means he's very intelligent. That was Prabhupada's conclusion, he's very intelligent. Because he uses his money for Krishna. That's the most intelligent thing to do. To use one's life for Krishna is intelligent. To use one's life for one's material progress is not intelligent at all. I remember one of my family members, I will not name the name, but she refurbished her apartment in Madrid recently, completely from top to bottom, including double-glazed windows and air conditioning and whatnot. And she wrote me, she said, now that I have double glazing, I can die in peace. That's so bizarre that I can die in peace. You can die in peace if you have nothing left in the material world, then you can die in peace. As long as we hang on to our material prosperities, death is painful because we have to separate ourselves from so much. And sooner or later, whatever castles we have built, they're built in sand, and the tide comes in and washes all these castles away. Finished. And then we start all over again. It's the same mentality that we want to acquire. Lord Chaitanya so clearly said, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam, Jagadisha, Kamaina, Mamajanmani, Jamanishvati, Bhavatat, Bhaktira. I have to keep my dear Lord, I want nothing of these things. Nothing. I don't want riches, I don't want money, I don't want fame, I don't want female association, none. I only want your love. And so that's the mentality of a pure devotee, that he is not interested in anything material, because he knows that ultimately it will be a noose around his neck It's like a noose. You get hanged with your material acquisitions. And it's so much more intelligent to consider this world. There's what is this place that was built near Agra, Al-Fitar of some Agra, Akbar the Great built it. It's an abundant village, Fetapur, something like that. It's a complete village, but when it was finished, the town was supposed to be a summer residence. They found that the water supply was not sufficient, and so it's abundant. And there's a bridge, a moat, and there's a bridge, and on this bridge, says Jesus said, the world is a bridge. Don't build a house on it. And that's pretty clear. That don't build a house on it. We're not here. We are guests here in the material world, and as guests, you don't build a house. You don't become too comfortable because tomorrow you have to move on. That's intelligence, real intelligence, and anything else is material intelligence, ultimately perverted intelligence, because intelligence is meant to control the mind so that the mind is thinking of Krishna and the senses to see the Lord and to worship Krishna and develop spiritual emotions and see and touch and feed Krishna and whatnot. But when the intelligence is misguided, then that's bad intelligence. Then that intelligence is used for material progress, for material acquisition. And that is a complete misuse of the intelligence which is actually meant to serve Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur expressed his manasadi yoga more. My body, my mind, whatever I have, apiluntua parinanda kishwa, I give to you. Now Shiva, he's giving benediction. See, I asked myself many times this question. Why is it that Krishna tells Lord Shiva to come to this world, to take birth and spread Mayavadi philosophy? Why did Krishna do that? Why? Anybody has an idea? There's a purpose behind it. You see that if in your previous life you want to worship God, but still you have the desire to eat meat, yes, you will be born in a meat-eating religion, no doubt about it. There are so many different religiosities just for different kind of mayas. You want to eat meat, there's this religion. You want to be God, there's that religion, namely Mayavad philosophy. And this is like a king. He has different kind of traps. All these religiosities, there's a verse that mundane religion is also inspired by God. There's a reason for it. So that people who have material desires can still worship God. In the Old Testament is, Lord, if they cannot be for you, let them not be against you. And in this way, the fire sacrifice, animal sacrifices were encouraged in the Old Testament based on that sentence. God, if they're not for you, at least let them not be against you. In the Vedic scriptures also, you have animal sacrifices according to this motivation that if you don't want to serve God, please don't be against me. There's some rituals, some this and that. Because by the end of the day, we are here to satisfy our material desires, and Krishna gives us a facility. Nitya Nityananam Chetana Chetananam, that verse. He fulfills the desires of all living entities. If you want to have some material, Krishna gives. Why would he do that? So that you get tired of it. Why does a father create a sandbox? When kids go in the sandbox and they play with cars and whatever, the idea is that they get tired of it one day. They say, well, I want to do something else. It's just ridiculous. So we get tired of material life by the gigantic sandbox of the material world, which is for children, for people who are spiritually like children. That they get tired of it. And so just before we approach the pearly gate, as they say, the door to Krishna, Maya is a doorman, and said, who you want to see Krishna? Okay, but there's still this, remember this beautiful, and you get carried away. And another one comes, can I see Krishna? Yes, no problem. But look at this. So these are the illusions that are protecting Krishna's kingdom. Maya is right there, covering. It's the covering energy of God. And so I read that Prabhupada said one time, and this was for me something very clear, that he said, actually Mayavadi philosophy is protecting the purity of Krishna Bhakti. It's protecting the purity of Krishna Bhakti, because if somebody is very pure, he will not be eluded by that. He doesn't want to be God. He doesn't want to be one with God. He just wants to have Krishna's service under all circumstances, birth after birth. That's his idea. So he can pass. But if there's some desire for fleshly delights, I mean, if you think of in Muslim religion, I mean, I have studied that a little bit. The heavens in Muslim religion is full of sense enjoyment, particularly sex. If you die in a religious war, you go and you can enjoy all these women and all this. You know, the descriptions are quite graphic. I was in a shock what people expect to happen. And these are maybe heavenly but lower planetary systems. They are lower heavens, and it goes higher and higher all the way to Brahma Loka. And so material desires are there, and so Krishna gives them a token. Okay, you can have this, you can have that. You have whatever, have a toy, this toy, that toy, and people fight over toys. In the kindergarten, yes, in the kindergarten, the children, this is my toy. No, it is my toy. Give me my toy. It is my toy. And now it is mine. And they fight like this. You know, they fight over toys. And what we have in modern politics is not other childish people. They fight over this land, that, a tree in the forest, you know, that belongs to this party or that party. Because it is childish. It is spiritually, people are like children. And so Lord Shiva is most gracious to giving people benedictions like that. And now, coming to Shiva, having wrapped up this subject, coming to Shiva, we should understand there are two Shivas actually. There is one Shiva in the spiritual world, Sadashiva. Sadashiva is a manifestation of Mahavishnu actually. And Sada in Krishna Leela, in Krishna Chaitanya's Leela, it is Advaita. It is a Sadashiva actually. And the function of the Sadashiva is when there's a desire for creation or desire for living entities to come into the material world, it is this Mahavishnu glances over the material nature, not even touches material nature, but glances. And the halo of this glance is Sadashiva that carries, actually, this halo carries the seeds of living entities into the material world to Rama Devi. She's a receptive vehicle. She's a mother. And that particular act, procreational act, is actually celebrated in the worship of the Shiva Linga among the Shivites. Now this Sadashiva is transcendental. It's transcendental. It's part of the transcendental world. But then there is a Shiva that is emanating from him. No, it is actually coming from, in our history, it is coming from the brow of Brahma, when Brahma became angry. He manifested Shambhu. And that Shambhu is worshipped in the material world by people who are materialistic. Like Shivites, they don't worship Sadashiva in the spiritual world. They worship Shambhu, the Lord in the material world, Lord Shiva, who actually originated in this particular universe. I don't know about others, but in this universe, from the anger of the brow, angry brow of Lord Brahma. And so that Shiva, he is understood to live on this planet on Kailash mountain. Kailash mountain is the abode of Shiva. And unfortunately, I don't have this presentation. I would have liked to show you. I will show you there. This is Mount Kailash, right? Can you see this from there? This is Mount Kailash, right? Beautiful mountain. Satchinandan Swami went there, and Indra Maharaj also there, so commemorated this beautiful mountain, Mount Kailash. What do you see? You see a mountain which is very beautiful, no doubt, sometimes in beautiful illumination, like, where is it here? Let me see, we're down here. Here, when the sun shines in the morning, I'm not connected here to the internet. I lost it. So, beautiful mountain, but that's all you see. It is inhospitable mountain. Nobody has ever been able to climb Mount Kailash, for whatever reason. Certainly the local Hindus will not climb. Buddhists also will not climb. It is a sacred mountain. And so that's what we can see. You can see a picture of Mount Kailash, which is two-dimensional. And then you can walk around. In fact, I have a little film here for you that I would like to show you. Let me see. Here we go. I hope this works without the internet. Yeah, it does. So we're looking at Google. See? Can you see that? There's Google Earth. I wanted to show you this. It's quite fascinating. We go to Mount Kailash. There it is. There it is. And now we're circumambulating Mount Kailash. You can see it from all sides. It's very interesting. Little film. It's very fascinating. If you could have projected it, you can go around Mount Kailash. Or you punch in as Kailash in Google Earth. So that's all you can see, even from the satellite pictures. You can see from satellite Lord Kailash, you know. And here, this is the classical view of Lord Kailash, of Kailash mountain. You know, but we cannot see more. We cannot see that actually this is the abode of Lord Shiva. That there is, according to Bhagavatam, a banyan tree on top which is 900 miles high, 900 miles wide. There are beautiful rivers, there are waterfalls, there are elephants, there are gardens. Lord Shiva sits under this tree in great gravity, is described in Bhagavatam, on his deerskin, and he's worshipped by great sages, including the four Kumaras. They're there. We can't see anything of that. Why is that? Because we don't have the access card, like if you work in a company, for example, the ordinary worker or the people on the top floor, they have the same card. It looks the same. It's like an exit card, a key card. So ordinary workers, they have access to the shop floor, right? Then if you're more higher up, you can go to middle management. The accountancy is there. You have a card, looks it, but you have more access, and you can go to upper management. Ultimately, you can go to the boardroom with the same card with a different kind of chip on it. And ultimately, you can go into the chef, the place where the chef lives. So in the same way, it is a matter of accessibility. We cannot access the Kailash beyond the accessibility that is granted to us by Krishna. Like we say, no one can you cannot drive to Vrindavan. I've driven hundreds of times to Vrindavan, not hundreds of times, but good. I'm in Vrindavan, but what do I see? What do I see? I see this and that, and Loy Bazaar, and pigs are roaming around, and plastic, and so many things, which don't remind me of the spiritual world. However, Shyamananda Prabhu, he found a bracelet which was shining. It was self-effulgent. It was in the evening, and he looked at it and he thought, this is very special, and he put it in his pocket. And then Lalita came to him and said, you have to give this Radharani's bangle. She lost it. And he said, no, I'm not going to give it. I want to give it to Radharani myself. So Lalita said, you have to take a bath in this Kund, Lalita Kund, which is right there in Idupan. He took a bath and he came out as a beautiful gopi. And then his accessibility was increased. He could actually see Radharani at the top of the stairs, who ultimately put this, he gave her the bangle, he put his tilak on his forehead, etc. It's a long story. Arjuna also, he asked Krishna, please show me a universal form. And then Krishna said, I have to give you transcendental eyes and you can see. The universal form is accessibility to reality was increased. The reality is multidimensional. In reality is actually the kingdom of God. But our accessibility is very limited. You go to the moon, what do you see? Even if people go, what do they see? They find a desert, stones. That's all. But that's not all. That's just what we can see, the part of it. If you visit this temple, and the Chowkidar said, you can't come. He said, well, why not? He said, no, you don't have access. You don't have access. You can't come here. You can go to the toilet. If you have to go to the bathroom, you can go. So you go to the bathroom. You can tell your friends, I've been in this temple. This is true. You just went to the bathroom, basically speaking. So in the same way, we should understand this concept of accessibility, that our access is very limited. And yetamam prapadyatetam sataya bhadramiham, according to his surrenders unto me, I reward him. That means his accessibility becomes increased. And so in the end, the Premanjana Churita Bhakti Tranena Santaksa Devariyeshu Lokayanti, when the heart is purified, then Yam Shama Sundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam, then when the eyes are anointed with the ointment of love, then I can see. The Shama Achintya Guna Swarupa, the inconceivable form of Shama Sundara, we can see. Now what we see Krishna, this is also Krishna, it's a reality, but we see of this reality only something, not so much. I mean, Prabhupada, Rancho Prabhu, asked Prabhupada one time, when he stood in front of Radha Krishna in London, and Londoneshwara, isn't it? Londoneshwara. And he asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, are these your favorite deities? Because they were the first he installed, Prabhupada, in the West. And Prabhupada said that would be sense gratification. He considers that sense gratification to make a difference between this deity and that deity. They're all Krishna, Why they are different, why I'm more attracted to this form, that form, because of my senses, the eyes. They're like, this is more pleasant, Krishna, that's less pleasant. It's based on verifying the senses. And Prabhupada saw more. Sometimes he went to one temple in America, I forgot the name, and the deities complained to him, when he saw them, right after coming from the airport. And he said, this Pujari, he's not very punctual, he's not very clean. And his food is the pits. And so Prabhupada called the Pujari, he said, you're not very punctual, and the food is not so nice. And he said, oh, Prabhupada, how do you know that? He said, well, Krishna told me. Because Prabhupada's access was vastly increased when he had this convey hall, Kirtan. He saw Narada Muni, isn't it? And they put a little Vyasa-san in Soul Street. Narada Muni is there. Prabhupada could see Narada Muni. In the middle, he sang Narada Muni, this song about Narada Muni, and the words asked him, why should Prabhupada you sang? He said, because Narada was there. I saw Narada. So spiritual life means really to increase our accessibility to the transcendental reality, the beautiful, gorgeous transcendental reality. We get a little bit of a taste here when we come to this very gorgeous temple. It's one of the most gorgeous temples I have seen in ISKCON. Very gorgeous. I mean, the ceiling is just, you have the same structure in Delhi, but nothing of this kind of opulence is there, Very gorgeous, down to the details, including a moat with big fishes, beautiful fishes. So everything is very opulent here. This is Krishna's mercy. He allows us that we can worship in great opulence in this place. And so, as we worship Krishna, our accessibility becomes increased. Now, many times when we preach to Christians, they will tell us, but you're worshipping idols. Many times you hear this. This is one of their main arguments, because it says in the Old Testament, in the Ten Commandments, you should not make idols of God, image of God. But image means according to your imagination. If you make an image of God according to your imagination, yes, the image and God is different. If you make a photo of a material person, the photo is material and the person is material. The whole thing is material. But on the spiritual platform, a perfect picture made according to descriptions of the Stapita. It's called Stapita? Stapati. Stapati, isn't it? Stapati is a man who makes the Stapati, That's perfect. And such deities can talk, they can walk, as we know from the example of the Sakshi Gopal deity. It walked all over India. And even a couple of years ago, who was it? Jananivas told me, or Pankaj Rangi, one of the two. I have not been able to figure out who's who whenever I saw them. So one of the two told me that there was a Muslim boy in our Rajapur temple where they worship Lord Jagannath, right? And so he looked everywhere, there was nobody there, so he climbed on the altar and he tried to remove a nose ring, a pearl that was in her nose, and the hand, Lord Balaram, all of a sudden extended his hand and slapped him, and he was thrown out of the temple. He woke up outside. And the mother came and saw 5 fingerprints on his hand. Balaram's slapped him so hardly, as when he tried to remove Subhadra's nose ring. You can see that even here. I was thinking next time I go, I should try that maybe. I mean, who doesn't want to be slapped by Lord Balaram? So we see just a wooden form, but there's more to it. There's a deeper reality that we are not aware of. We cannot see. This explains why people go to the moon, they don't see anything. They don't see anything. Another person who goes to the moon, highly elevated, says he can see Chandra is there and the beautiful gardens and the whole thing. We have no access to. Same Mount Kailash, we don't have access. We are very small. I mean, if you put a mouse here into this, bring a mouse here, what does he see? If he stares forever, for the rest of the Kali Yuga to the ceilings, he cannot figure out what's going on there. He sees just colors. We can see because we have access to that. Isn't it? The beautiful ceiling, all these different pastimes of Krishna. Mouse cannot see. Even if he looks in the Sistine Chapel, the most famous religious chapel in the world, in Rome, and he sees Adam and Eve, and not Adam and Eve, but Adam receiving from a rather corpulent God, an old man, whatever it is, so she can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. It's all a matter of access. I mean, is this a bead bag you're holding there? Where's my bead bag? I have it here. I can give you an example. Come here. Come. I give you a very simple example here. Hold this. You have to show them that. Okay. Now, here's an example, a very simple example. There are 2 ants here. This is point A, this is point B, right? A and B. So one ant is limited within 2 dimensions. That means she can see only what's in front, what's in the back, what's left and right, right? The other one, he is a 3-dimensional ant. He has access to the 3rd dimension. So they run, they make a race. Ready, steady, go. And the 2-dimensional ant is walking very fast and comes here out of his breath, and he finds that the 3-dimensional ant is already there. How did you do that? I didn't see you. He said, well, B is upstairs. You go a little higher, you can see it. So in the same way, a yogi may go into the Ganga river and come out in the Yamuna because it's next door on a high dimensional level. But on a three-dimensional level, you have to go all the way to Calcutta. It's a long way, on a three-dimensional level. So this gives you a very clear understanding how that works. In a simple example, I mean, you may say, for example, you want to meet a friend, your girlfriend in a department store in a big Woolworths or something. You agree 6 o'clock, I will be there. So 6 o'clock, 10 past, you use your phone and say, where are you? He said, I'm in Woolworths. I said, well, I don't see you. I looked everywhere, I can't see you. I said, I'm right here. From a Google point of view, then exactly the same location, longitude, latitude, exactly the same location. But they will not see each other up to the end of Kali Yuga, unless he goes upstairs. Then he finds his friend is right in the fifth floor. He's in the third dimension. So the whole thing, this was explained to me by Sariputta a long time ago, that the reality is multidimensional. That's why, think about it, when Lord Krishna blows a conch because he wants to see his friends, invites his friend for a picnic. Then out of this little village, which is in Govardhan, trillions of cowboys came out of the houses. Trillions, not 20, 30, 50 million, trillions and trillions of cowboys came out, and trillions of cows. How is that possible? Because it's in a different dimension. But we have only very little access to reality. In the mouth of Mother Yashoda, the whole universe was another example. And when all the Brahmas came in, what is that Leela? In Dwarka Leela, they came to see Krishna. None of the Brahmas could see any other Brahma, because everybody had only one access to Krishna, one small section of the pie of reality. And everybody thought, Krishna is there alone with me. Only our Brahma, he could see that there were so many Brahmas, because Krishna gave him more access. He gave him a bigger access card. There are so many examples of that situation. So here's Lord Shiva. He sits on Mount Kailash, no doubt about it. But you can even go by satellite. You don't see nothing. Nothing, because you're a karmi. Normal karmi with his spacecraft, he cannot see. But somebody who's enlightened with knowledge, his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun is lighting up everything in the night time. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who has knowledge, one who has access. I thank you very much. It was nice talking to you. I hope we have some more opportunity while I'm here. I always wanted to come here. I heard so much about it. My old friend Rajram was his name. He was an architect from Austria. He was in Germany a long time, and then I heard he disappeared in South Africa and was building a temple. I couldn't figure out what he was doing, but now I know. He did something very wonderful for Srila Prabhupada and for the devotees of Krishna. Do you have any questions? Yes.
Thank you so much, Prithu Prabhu. How do we get more access?
By devotion service. Krishna says, only by devotion service can I be seen as I am standing before you. So he's standing in front of everybody, practically speaking, but only by devotion service, To that degree, we worship Krishna. To that degree, we get access. Like in a company, if you work good, you get more access. You can enter the higher, ultimately you can go to the boss even, if you're a top man. So by devotion service, particularly by chanting and hearing, book distribution, service, This increases all. If you want to have more access, Prabhupada said, just chant more. This is famous. There was this famous Alice Coltrane, I think her father was a famous jazz musician. And so, where would I have that here? Yeah, it is right here. Give me 1 second. There it is. So Alice Coltrane, she had so many problems. She told to Prabhupada, she met Prabhupada in Vrindavan, and she had so many problems. And he said, as much as possible you chant, then everything will be revealed to you. Everything will be revealed to you, and you will be able to do something. He said, I started this movement simply by chanting. That's why chanting is really the most important activity in the whole universe. You know? As Thakur said, in the ultimate consideration, there are only two realities, namely the soul and the Lord. The rest is all deceptive, the material world. You know? So we have been given this touchstone, it is talked about here, that will give us, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur described one time, unimaginable peace when we can enter into the name, when we become blessed to be able to enter into the reality of the holy name. There's a verse in the Old Testament, coming from a Christian background, and it says, although you make many prayers, God says, although you make many prayers, I don't hear you, because your heart is far away from me. That's the point, you know. To chant from the bottom of our heart, we have to cry for Krishna, you know. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go, Premananda. Did you like that?
That was really good.
It's very logical.